next video is on the famous gas pain. Medically speaking, the term gas pain does not exist. Unfortunately, I am sorry. Now, when we Jamaicans say we have gas pain, what we're really referring to is either gastroesophageal reflux disease, peptic ulcer disease, abdominal bloating, abdominal discomfort, or constipation. The point I want to make about gas pain is that it can only occur in the abdominal region. You cannot get gas pain in the shoulder, the neck, the head, the knees, or the feet. I want to make that point very clear. A man will come in and say, boy, doc, I have pain on my shoulder, you know. But I know say I gas, so I just pat it out and it gone. No, and that's how it go. Pain in these regions, such as the shoulders and the knees, can be due to osteoarthritis or muscle spasms. In the head, you can get a migraine.
What manner of sorcery is this? We'll find him. We'll find him.
Delia said, before the doctor came, Delia said she have a gas pain.
In her knee?
In her knee.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of sorcery is this. We'll find him. All of my friends on social media, we'll find him. We'll find him. No,
yes. It's not yes.
He's here with us.
Right, that's what
this one. Dr. Philip Coombs, he's Senior House Officer at Mandeville Regional Hospital in General Surgery and Urology. Sorcerer. Come and try to pull out all that.
Morning, Bridget.
Morning.
It was funny, but you are a medical doctor.
You're right,
and that's not a joke. Why did you want to do the video?
No, it all started because, well, as a senior house officer, the government requires doctors to work in the primary care, in the clinics and those places for 4 months. And I mean, I got the experience of working in Manchester, all around. When you go to Craighead, Prattville, Christiana, and you start to hear different complaints that patients come in with, you're blown away. I mean, a lot of them come in, especially when they say they have sinus. Them say, doc, I have sinus, you know. And I say, well, that's good. That's normal. Everybody should have sinus. But what they really mean to say is sinusitis. That's where they're
shortening feet.
No, man, you can't say that. You can't say you have sinus and say that is a problem, you know, because God made us all with sinus, right? But the sinusitis now is
God made us all with brain and somehow we are idiot like Neville.
No, the thing is, we have to try, you know, really
educate the public.
Right, because there's a lot of miseducation that has been taking place.
All right, so it's not sinus,
yeah, but
it's sinusitis.
Let's start with the one that was on the video.
You want to start with that one?
Gas.
No problem.
Gas.
First thing, what causes gas?
All right, when Jamaicans say that they have gas, they mean a lot of things, right? I personally believe that they generally mean that when they're hungry, they have a burning, they have a pain. And that is really because of the gastric acid. It starts to build up, and that is what tells the brain that you're hungry, right? So you get a pain. So usually that is what they say gas is. And
you get the pain where? You
get the pain in the abdominal region, right? And also, if they're constipated, that can also mean that they have gas. That's what they say. They have gas.
But even some of them, like when they're hungry and your knee hurts you, that's
no,
gas.
all right. Yes, so that's another thing. So a person will come and say, boy, doc, I have gas. And, you know, rub them shoulder, then pat it and belch. No force belch, and they think that the gas is now gone. There was a young, an elderly patient who said that they had a headache. And they started to rub their head, and they proceeded to no force belch or anything, and they said the gas is now gone. That is what they say relieves the pain. So they think that is gas in the head.
So there's anything called gas?
No, gas is not a medical term.
What is the
medical? So you can't
term?
write in a docket, this patient is now diagnosed with gas. You can't write that.
No matter how we ever say, no, but what would cause though for him to pat his head and for that belch to come? I think you will explain what that is.
All right, so, okay, when it comes down to the headache, right? The headache now, you can get a headache when you're hungry, because of two main reasons. You can be hypoglycemic, means that your sugar is low. And the brain is one of the organs in the body that doesn't compromise when it comes down to low blood sugar, right? So what it does, it tries to expand the blood vessels in the brain. And remember that the skull can't expand. So the pressure around it is going to increase, which can cause a pressure headache.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that is one reason why you can get a headache.
Okay, go back to what you call gas. What is the name for it?
Well, as I said, they use it to mean different things.
Right.
So persons will say they have gas, which would mean that they're having bloating.
Okay.
They're having peptic ulcer disease.
Okay.
So you can have an ulcer, what they call ulcer stomach.
Yeah, man.
Gastroesophageal reflux disease is
But
another
all of
big
that
thing.
can only happen right here.
Right in the abdominal region.
All what you just said.
Right.
So
you
if I have a pain up here,
if you have a,
if I feel it in my back,
it cannot
So when
be
I'm
gas.
hungry and my back hurt me and I gas.
No, it's not gas. It's other things, muscle cramps, those things, but it's not actually what them say gas.
yeah, rubbing alcohol. When a child has a fever, grandparents
Yes.
tend to use alcohol because their skin feels too hot. This
Yes.
is harmful to a child.
It is.
Explain.
Really?
Rubbing alcohol, similar to barium, right? This cools down the body too fast, especially in children, right? So if you have a fever and you cool down the body too fast, you know what that can happen? The body is going to respond and say, boy, I feel cold. So it's going to increase the temperature so it can make the fever even worse.
Okay.
Not just that, in children especially, their skin is very thin and it can be absorbed through the skin and it can cause
It's good for rub your knee when
intoxication.
gas are hurt your knee though.
Yeah, you can rub it, yes, but it don't mean, say, you know, that is a...
By the way, this you didn't come here to talk about this. But when I was a younger person, I don't see them do it too often. If you get wet,
Because technology
then put
advanced.
white rum in your head.
In your mole.
Yeah. That do.
I don't know about that one at all.
Oh, yeah.
White rum, when you're...
Yeah, man.
Never all
No,
on
man.
Jamaica, so you wouldn't know.
I understand, but
yeah.
no, we have to try...
Apart from your head get drunk, it do anything else.
It go down in your mole.
The next one. Explain the sinus now, because I have sinusitis.
Right.
And it bothers me. I think it's the frontal one.
When you're hungry?
No, just...
So the main thing about the sinus that, you know, really we had to clear up was just the fact that they use a term incorrectly.
Okay.
So when they say they have sinus, it doesn't mean that it's a problem, you know. When it's sinusitis, it starts to drain and those things.
Explain sinus.
So the sinus, they're hollow cavities in the face, right? And they have a lot of different functions. They're lined with goblet cells, which help to prevent pollutants from entering, right? And then also what it does, it makes the skull lighter, so it eases even some of the tension off the neck. And also it changes the voice. So everybody has different tones of their voice because of their sinuses, right? So their sinuses have different shapes. Some are larger than others, you know. And so that is where you get that different
What
pitch.
throws it off? What makes it sinusitis?
So in sinusitis, there's an inflammation, right? So it can be either an allergic reaction or if you have a common cold, what Jamaicans call draft, which is a next common myth.
Draft.
Draft. People think them can get draft in them bottom or in them foot. No, you can't get draft in your foot. I'm sorry. No, you
If
you walk on the
anything named draft?
If you walk on the cold ground, you'll catch draft in your foot.
No. All right, so listen, the word draft again is not a medical term. We can't write in the docket this patient
We
is
never
suffering
got
from
medical
draft.
school, we just tell it. So you will find the term for much draft.
Right. So in Jamaica, when they mean by draft,
Yes.
they mean common cold. Common cold or allergic rhinitis. That's when them say them catch draft, right?
Yeah.
Now, you can't catch a draft if you walk on cold concrete or if you lie down with your back and catch draft in your back.
Yes.
No.
So you couldn't write on your docket that this patient
As a draft.
catch a draft and full of gas.
No.
You could write.
Not medically speaking, we cannot.
Draft no have nothing to do with gas, never.
No, me just say suppose I'm suffering from the two things.
No,
Suppose
you
him have
know,
draft.
you're mixing up the thing. Draft and gas are two
So
different.
draft is a cold.
Draft is a common cold. What I want to say about draft, though, the common cold, the thing is, the Jamaicans believe that when they get cold, they catch draft, right? So there is some truth to that, because when the body is cold, right, you're more susceptible to catching the common cold, the virus.
Which is a draft.
Which is a draft, yes.
You better have me in your office to explain
I'm
these
telling you.
things.
So, all right, I'm going to talk about blood pressure now.
Yeah, so that's
So
a
that's
very,
a serious one.
That's a very serious
That one
one.
I'm not joking with. Because you see people and them say my pressure high.
Yes,
And my
man.
pressure go down.
A lot of Jamaicans
Yeah.
suffer from high blood pressure. You know,
Yeah.
it's a chronic disease.
Wow.
And
Why is that? Why do we? Is it because of how we eat, stress?
both?
Okay.
Both. It definitely is from both. But what I want to say about the high blood pressure is that you can't know if your pressure is high. You can have a headache when your pressure is high, you know, but you can also have no headache or no symptoms and you have high blood pressure. The only way for you to know is if you check it out, you know. And a lot of patients come into the clinics and the hospitals and ask them, you know, Miss, you take your medication, this and that. Them say, no, because my head never did hurt me, or my eye did all right, or my neck back all right. You can't wait on symptoms to start taking your pressure tablets. And that is a big problem across Jamaica.
Good morning, Patricia. Harris.
Your sister.
Yes.
Yeah, so, you know, it's something that we need to educate Jamaicans about and how to take their medications and not to wait until them having problems.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the stomach.
The stomach, boy, the location of the stomach.
Where's stomach?
Fascinating.
Where's stomach?
The stomach, all right. The stomach is in the abdominal region. It's located right superiorly in an area that they call the epigastric region, but it is not to be confused with the chest. So a lot of patients come in and say, Doc, my stomach, up here, so stomach. And them start cough, and start to cough and say their stomach. No, you can't say your stomach is up here. If your stomach was found up here, it's a big problem. Big problem.
So where your stomach is?
Your stomach is in the abdominal region and it doesn't move. You only have one. You know, some people think that they have more than one stomach. But no, it's only one stomach that you really have and it doesn't shift.
You know the good thing about all of this? Is it is quite obvious that if somebody come in and say, Doc, have a draft, you know what they're talking about.
Right, that's the thing. That's the good thing about it.
That's the great thing. And if them say, have gas.
Their stomach's upset.
Yeah, you have to understand the language.
Yeah.
Well, me know
so if I come and I say, let's come and say my stomach upset, and you say, which part of the stomach? I say, right up here.
No, man,
you would have said.
Would have to clarify some more, ask more questions, find out more symptoms, you know, the duration, what you're exactly feeling, if it's a burning, cramping, if your heart racing, because in the chest you have your heart and your lungs, and we don't joke with those.
You're an uptown picnic, not true? You grow up town.
Mandeville I come from. You know.
So, Mandeville you come from?
So like how things evolve. My stomach couldn't just move from here, so come up here, so even for a day.
No,
and go back.
But what confuses a lot of persons is that there's a thing called reflux. So the acid from the stomach, it can go up into the esophagus, which is actually in the chest.
You know that me just say.
No, man, but you see the thing is, them still call up here the stomach. So you can't say the stomach. You can't say, Doc, my stomach. Up here, so all around here, so some a patients around here, so I hurt her and she knows our stomach. No. So,
right.
I turn part of Mandeville in girl. You see? Because if I step off in my bed pan in Thailand, I'm on me know a draft I go up in and I go straight for the rubbing alcohol.
Can you just treat the gas in a daily need for me?
Me talk to you more.
I put rubbing alcohol for me knee.
All right, okay.
Try.
He's a senior house officer at the Mandeville Regional Hospital, General Surgery and Urology. A big thing, you.
You know, I forgive God thanks, you know.
Dr. Philip.
But awesome thing you're doing. I think it's important to you know, kind of raise the knowledge level.
Yes, man. I think it's very important.
Yeah, me just feel me have some acid reflux, right? Also.
I would know have gas in your head, because nothing that's up there. It's just a empty something I go wrong for.
So if me have gas, then I can just go to my car and just bench, no? And my car drive, go to Mandeville, don't it?
It depends on where you have in the pain and where.
Okay, all right.
So,
10 minutes to your health. We'll do it again next Thursday.
Yeah, man.
Dr. Coombs
if our gas get better.
some country.
if the gas get